Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Hearthstone episode, and this one is the most exciting Hearthstone video that I have recorded in a long time. The Curse of Naxxramas is upon us. I cannot believe it, I can't wait. This solo adventures button is staring me in the face, and I can't wait to get involved. So, I'm going to hop right into it. I want to... So essentially today what we're going to do is we're going to go through the first, the Arachnid wing, just the basic Arachnid wing. A little bit later on I'll do the class challenge and heroic mode as well, but today we're just going to do the Arachnid wing. Now, a couple of disclaimers before we start. First one is that, obviously, don't watch this if you don't want spoilers. I am going to spoil things. I have been trying to be very good about looking at the internet for information, so I don't know anything about this. I know what all the cards are, and I've been thinking a lot about the cards, but I have not actually... I don't know what all the boss abilities are. I don't know really anything on that nature. I don't really know what's in store. So I'm really excited. I haven't spoiled it for myself, and if you don't want the spoilers, then don't watch this until you have done it. The other disclaimer, really quickly, is that I'm doing a little bit different of a recording setup today, just to allow me to hear the sound a little bit better than I normally do. Usually I don't play with sound, because I know what it sounds like. I just have it in there for your benefit as the viewer, but today I want to hear it because I know that the bosses are a little bit, hopefully they're interesting. So a little bit of different recording setup should not actually impact anything, but if it does, that is why, and I apologize. In any case, let's get right into it. Oh, this is exciting. Okay, so, normal or expert, practice or Nax? Certainly Nax.
Preparations cannot be stopped. Ooh. You are too late.
Well, we'll see about that, won't we? Okay, so we have... Oh, okay, that's fine. And we need to do normal. Okay, perfect. All of that's fine. Okay. This looks so cool. Oh, these guys have done a great job already, and I can already tell.
What? How did you gain entrance to Naxxramas?
Okay, perfect. Alright. Oh yeah. Okay, so let's just pop this open. Oh, this is so neat. I apologize if I'm going to be fangirling this whole time, but I have to say, Nax was my favorite raid in WoW, and frankly, this is the best of all possible things that they could have done for me as a fan to have the first adventure be Nax. So I apologize in advance if I'm freaking out the whole time. I am going to try to let the bosses speak. I'm going to not try to talk over the dialogue, so we'll try this out here.
Anub'Rekhan is one of my finest spider lords. Good luck, interloper.
Alright. I remember him in WoW. Now, okay, so what we're going to do for this, this is interesting. I think I'm just going to go with the very basic Ramp Druid. I haven't actually changed any decks or made any special stuff because I don't know what's in store. I'm going to go with my version of the Ramp Druid from before, just because, I think it would probably be the best to adapt to new situations. It sort of has a lot of different ways to deal with a lot of different stuff, so we're going to give that a shot. Oh, neat. The progress bars are all green and everything. This is so cool.
Malfurion versus Anub'Rekhan.
Welcome to my parlor.
Oh, this is so neat.
The wild.
Okay, so we don't need a healing touch. We don't really need a Yeti either. I'd rather have something like an Innervate, maybe, or some creatures even. The Wild Pyro will keep. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, look at this board. Oh, we're gonna have to play with the bits here. Okay, so, well, we are finished. That's fine. What is his power here? Summon a 3-1 Nerubian. Okay, well, gee, okay, so playing a mage might have been better on the first boss here, but that's okay. Oh, that's cool. So is he just thinking here? Oh, okay, so there's some lag. Probably because the world is on this at the moment. Okay, he's also passing. We're going to... I think we're going to start ramping. So the lag is real. We're gonna try to get rid of that in the editing process. Okay, gonna coin out something for 3.
Death does not scare me.
Okay, the Death Lord. That's rough. Well, the cool thing about that is what it will do for me when it's done. It'll give me a free minion, so we'll throw down the... Well, yeah, I guess we're going to throw down the Wild Pyro. And, you know, maybe what we'll do is we'll Mark of the Wild it, so that he can't kill it in one with his Death Rattle guy, and in 2 shots it'll kill him and give me a minion.
Do you like to play with fire?
The Wild Pyro will be very nice with his hero power. So, I'd like to keep him alive for a little bit, but if he serves the purpose of getting rid of the big guy, that's even better. Okay, Stone Skin Gargoyle. Perfect. That's sort of what I was hoping for. Okay. So, this is very interesting. So, what I could do here is I could actually kill both of his creatures, couldn't I? If I were to Mark of the Wild, then I get rid of... I put this one down to 1, I can then hero power it, and then take this one out entirely. And it gives me a free minion as well. And I get to keep my Innervate. I could also Innervate out the Ancient of Lore, but that means I still have both of his creatures on the table. So I actually, as much as it burns to spend another Mark of the Wild, I think that's actually the best choice here. Oh, there's so much slowness right now. Look how long he's just gonna sit. Oh, there we go. Sweet release. Okay, that's pretty good. That's not bad. And we'll take him out here. There it is. All right. There's gonna be some lengthy waits here. Mortal Coil. All right. Well, you live and you learn. I was not expecting him to have something along those lines. It's okay. This is. Yeah, sure. So we're just going to put down Sylvanas and take out the Gargoyle. I think this is a fairly simple turn. Next time we have the Ancient of Lore as well for more cards. I think this is good.
I have no time for games.
Frostbolt. It's an interesting smattering move. Charge, Death Rattle, deal 3 damage to the hero. I was gonna go for the face with it, okay. Huh. Okay, so we have a couple of things we can do here. We can always Wrath... Well, we're gonna Wrath something. Definitely gonna rattle some... Death Rattle. We're definitely going to Wrath something. And we can actually hero power this and Wrath that. And then we have plenty of mana. Well, we don't actually. What am I talking about? We could Innervate out the Yeti at that point, but that's sort of too bad. We could slow play him. We could also just sort of eat the damage on Sylvanas and take one of them. I like that idea. Yeah, you know what we're going to do? We're going to put out the Ancient of Lore for the cards and see what we get. And what we'll do here is we'll use Sylvanas on this guy, and then we can Innervate out the Wrath on the little guy and get another card out of it. Which seems just about the perfect thing to do here, I think.
Let none survive.
Okay, cool. Healing Touch. That's nice. Might actually use that for the Yeti. If he's still alive next turn. The Abomination. It's really interesting, actually, you know, playing against decks that you don't know anything about. Don't know what's in their decks, and I don't know how they play them. It's sort of a welcome change, given that, you know, normally it's sort of like, oh yes, well, we're going to you know, this guy's playing this deck, so we know that he'll do this sort of thing. This is sort of a refreshing change. So, what we could do here is we could sacrifice the Yeti into the Abomination, and that will exactly kill it and still give us Sylvanas. And then we could heal Sylvanas, and then play a Yeti. I think that's actually a fairly strong option. And I don't actually see any reason not to do exactly that. That's 7 mana. It's a little bit inefficient, but that's still just fine. So we'll do this. We could theoretically have kept all creatures. No, we couldn't. Never mind. That's fine. So then we will Healing Touch Sylvanas. The good kind of touch. And put down the Yeti. So we can finally attack with the creatures because the lag is real. We will do that.
Let none survive.
This is what I would probably be cautiously optimistic about in a regular ranked game. But then again, I don't know what he has up his sleeve for 7 mana, so we'll see.
Just a little taste.
Ooh, 3 damage to all enemy minions and restore 3 life to the hero. That's a pretty powerful spell. It is also 7 mana. Wow. Huh. And despite its extreme cost, it actually did very little for him. Now, given the board here, I'm going to say rather than Rag, yeah, 9 will put him down to 9. I'll be just shy, just at a Rag range. So I think what we're going to do is put down Ysera. It is a win more card, the highest degree.
Let none survive.
Okay. There's the dream card. And Ysera awakens. Okay, perfect. Oh, the Anabar Ambusher. Interesting. Oh, cool. Cool. Okay, cool. So that's all irrelevant. We've won. But that's sort of neat. So that's the first time I've seen any of these guys. Very good. So, good, interesting first game.
Let none survive.
Interesting to see the stuff you can do. And that was a cool fight.
I shall bring you rest.
There we go. So, first boss of Naxxramas.
I mean, irrelevant. You'll never defeat the Grand Widow.
I have a hard time believing that, to be honest. Okay. Haunted Creepers. Very, very cool. Oh, this is exciting. This is great. Okay, let's do this second part here.
Thealina is training acolytes to worship me. Her job is very important. Do not disturb her.
Well, we're gonna disturb her. It's sort of, yeah, we're gonna do that. Rain of Fire. Fire a missile for each card in your opponent's hand. I could have looked that up for him before. Fire a missile for each card in your opponent's hand. Well, we're not gonna play a handlock. We're gonna stick with the Ramp Druid, I think. He's pretty good at dumping cards, but yeah, wow, that's tough. That will be interesting. Keeping the hand tight. I predict that in heroic mode that will be much, much worse. I've been hearing whispers that heroic mode really is quite heroic, so I'm excited. I'm excited to see what it'll have in store.
Malfurion versus Grand Widow Thealina!
My acolytes serve me without question.
I must protect the wild.
Okay, so I like this hand. I don't like this in the hand, but I think we're going to keep this. I don't know what her cards are, I don't know how many 1 minions she'll have, but having a spell and a Wild Pyro is never a bad thing. Wild Growth would of course be nicer, but so be it. Yeah, that'll be good. We can innervate out a Druid of the Claw fairly early. That's nice. Okay. So we're going to leave this turn. That's fine. Next turn, assuming nothing changes, we'll throw out the Pyro.
Bring out your dead.
Bring out your dead. That's excellent. Okay, so assumedly that's going to be a problem. I'm sort of loath to play the Wild Pyro. well, I mean, it's not going to be that big of a deal. If I play another spell or something, the problem is that, you know, she's going to have another Death Rattle minion. And so I'm going to play this, it'll be neat, and then he will put it right into it, and it will be sort of a null argument. But, well, then again, I suppose if I wanted to be extremely aggressive about it, I could put down the Wild Pyro and innervate out the hero power, which would then kill it. But that does seem a little bit of an overreaction. Then again, her hero power is really bad. We're going to do that. Her hero power is quite powerful, and the fewer cards I have in my hand, the better. But you know, in retrospect, as I think about the thing that I have just done, that was a terrible idea. that was a newbie move, I think. Because as I sit here thinking, this turn I could have had a Druid of the Claw on the table. But so be it. I've forgotten entirely the plan that I originally had. But that's alright. That's okay. We will roll with the punches.
Kneel before me, worm.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that hero power is pretty bad. And by bad, I mean bad for me. It's actually exquisite. Yeah, certainly if I don't find things to play, that's going to be pretty tough. And of course, this turn I could have dumped a couple of cards, and the outcome it wouldn't have been actually all that much different.
Slay them in the Master's name.
Oh, hero has +1 attack on your turn. Okay. Interesting. So that's actually, that is an attack without a weapon. That's sort of neat. Well, then again, well, what am I talking about? The Druid has that. Never mind, I thought that was a neat sort of a thing. It's not actually all that special. Well, so we have a couple of different things we can do. We could overreact and swipe that, and I think it would be an overreaction. We could Keeper of the Grove and, I suppose, silence that. I fear silencing something so innocuous. I mean, the other thing I could do is do 2 damage to it. The 1 extra damage on her turn is a bit of a pain. Yeah, I think I want to save the swipe, and I think I am going to use the Keeper. It's interesting, sort of doing this for the first time. Yeah, we're gonna... that is annoying. But you know what, the Keeper, the Druid of the Claw can take care of that next turn no matter what. The 1 extra attack's not going to do very much. Let's just silence it. Ugh. Okay. Right. So the question now is whether I play the Druid of the Claw or whether I play a Healing Touch on the Keeper and my hero power. And, well, okay, so the Yeti's pretty great too, but I like the idea of the Druid of the Claw. I don't like the idea of a Nerubian, and I sort of wish that I hadn't burned my Keeper, because, of course, silencing that would make it much less of a problem. So, I think I am interested in this, Well, if I hit this and then swiped it, could do that. The only problem with that approach is that I don't kill this guy who will then kill this. Well, that's not so much of a problem. He will still have to do that. She might use her hero power, so that's a bit annoying. I would like to heal, but I think given the circumstances, a swipe on the Nerubian before it can do any damage is probably not a bad idea. Then again, I have to actually kill it myself, or else it's not going to be able to do damage to me, because well, I don't know whether she has any mechanics to actually kill her own things. So, yeah, this is a really tough choice. This is tougher than I thought it would be. I think what I'm going to do, because she has the missiles all at the ready, is I'm going to... You know, I think I'm going to charge mode Druid of the Claw.
Where shall I strike?
And we're going to take out this with the charge mode Druid. This is really interesting, you know? It's sort of laggy, and that's too bad, but that's a product of night number 1 for me, I suppose. And it hopefully won't affect you guys too much, because I will edit out a lot of it. But obviously you can see as I'm waiting there. There we go, her turn just happened. There's the Rain of Fire. Yeah, wow, what a powerful thing. Okay. Oh, wow. Huh. Yeah, this really does force a different style of play, doesn't it? Oh, I'm so excited for what this is going to do to the meta. Okay, so now... this is tough. I could swipe the Death Charger and leave the Nerubians up. They'd be 0-1s. And just attack her. And, what do I get out of that? I mean, I could also use the Blood Mage and swipe and kill everything, but then I'd have 2 4/4s staring at me, and that's hardly a good idea. I could use the Hero Power and put down the Yeti instead of swiping. What would that get me? That would leave this with 1 health, which would mean it would almost certainly die. But we also have to talk about getting as many cards out of my hand as possible. So maybe what I do is I hit this, leave it at 1 health, put down the Yeti, and put down Thalnos. I mean, it's not good because I don't get a powerful swipe out of that, but right now I don't actually want a powerful swipe. That would be pretty disastrous. Unless I consciously attack one of these and then make it a Nerubian, swipe it, get rid of it. So I think, for the purpose of making her hero power a bit weaker, I'm going to put down the Yeti, and I'm going to put down Thalnos. This is so interesting. It sort of is forcing me to think in different ways that I'm not used to. The other interesting thing about that is that by killing that horse, it essentially does almost the same damage to her as it would if I actually hit her in the face. So it actually makes killing the Death Chargers a much easier decision than just going for the face. Yep, there's the rain. Okay, I sort of expected that. That's too bad, though.
Speak to me.
At least Thalnos is still up. And we do have the Acolyte there. This has been a bit of a rough game in terms of sort of not getting the cards that I'm looking for. It hasn't been very useful as far as ramping is concerned. This is a bad draw for the Ramp Druid. Now, I actually have the power to clear her board pretty well here. If I were to swipe now, I could take this out. Or I could even swipe her in the face. These die. And then I could Wrath one of them, trade one of them. Well, actually, no, of course I wouldn't do that. What I would do is I would Yeti into one of these. It would be a 4/4. Then I would swipe the 4/4. And the 4/4 that comes out, I would then Wrath. And then I suppose I could trade my Thalnos into the Acolyte. She gets 2 cards out of it. But her hero power is based on my hand, not hers. So it's not such a bad thing. Usually expect someone to get a couple of cards out of the Acolyte, so I'm not super sad about that. Yeah, so you know what? I will do that, actually. Help to clear the board a bit. I mean, I could just burn her down, I guess, but I'm quite worried about board control. I don't know what she has in her deck. Oh, that's neat. Alright. Let's get rid of you. And let's get rid of you. And this is good too because it dumps a lot of cards out of my hand, which is great.
More souls.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to go for her. Probably she'll just do this trade next turn anyway. I assume she doesn't have very many healing mechanics. That's not really in the nature of Fairlina. And I get an extra damage in. And maybe she'll let it live. Oh, wow, okay. Perfect. Are you going to do that trade? Oh, coining out.
The widow embraces me.
Oh, she's going to take out Thalnos herself. Yep. And the Acolyte will hit me in the face, presumably. Oh, that's nice. Ooh. Yeah, so this is pretty interesting. I have a lot of options here. I like the Sunwalker a ton, and I would love to play the Sunwalker. I would also like to play the Healing Touch, because then I could Healing Touch my Yeti and get rid of the Dancing Swords, which would give me a card. But then again, I'm playing against Fairlina. Cards are bad against Fairlina. We don't like cards. So maybe... wow. So if I use the Sunwalker, and then take this out with the Yeti, maybe, is the best way. Sunwalker's going to go down, for sure. Yeah, and I suppose I will take out this guy with the Yeti. Now, do I take out the Wild Pyro? Or do I get rid of the Acolyte? This means one less missile, and it seems like she's using it every turn now. So it means one less missile if I put it down, and it leaves the Acolyte up to pop the shield, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I think I actually am interested in getting rid of these two things, so she has to waste this. It's sort of 6 to 1, half dozen of the other. In all likelihood, she will not just waste it for free on the Divine Shield. I was hoping that there would be a number of Naxx references in the dialogue, and there are. How could there not be, right?
Join me in death.
Ooh. Okay, so destroy the minion next to this one as well. Oh. Okay, that was a good play. So I need to find a way to kill the 5/6. Okay. So I mean, now destroy the minions next to this one as well. So you actually almost want her to play something over here as well. What's the cost on that? 4. Wow. All right. So I could put up an Ancient of War, and that would probably be difficult for her to break. And if I put that up and use the hero power to get rid of this, then I take another thing off the table and I control the board a little bit better. If I put down Ysera, that's probably not going to be the most helpful option right now. But no, I think we're going to Ancient of War and hero power, probably. I like that. Yep. And hero power. How about I listen to myself one of these days?
For the wilds.
Okay, there we go.
Join or die, or both.
Alright. Huh. Wow, she has a lot of interesting card picks in her deck. Okay, so this is pretty interesting stuff. I think I like the idea of Wild Pyro Healing Touch on the Ancient, and then Faceless Manipulatoring the Ancient. That gives me 2 5/9 taunts, or sorry, 2 5/10 taunts. No, would it be 5/9? Yeah, it would be. It would be. I've forgotten. I guess. Okay, well, that's what we're gonna do, right? There's no better way, right? Sylvanas would be interesting, but ultimately not all that great. And playing the Wild Pyro gets rid of her whole board, not just the one. So yeah, we're gonna do that. It's also 3 cards. Healing Touch. Of course, the effect activates first. It is 2 5/9s. Still got a card out of it, of course. And we'll do this. Okay, I think we've stabilized. I think that's going to be a very difficult board. Oh, okay.
Join me in
Another Necronite.
The widow embraces me.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yep, no, I think we've got this in the bag. Okay, Mark of the Wild. So I could actually kill the Necronite, kill her whole board. I would be just shy of winning. That would be 10, 12, 13. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. And I would kill this and kill that if I pumped one up and attacked into it. Well, no, I think I'm more interested in... No, you know what? Let's go for board control. Let's go for board control.
I have no time.
Let's be super, super safe. Pump up one of my Ancients. And do this. And do this, and do this. Perfect. And helpfully, the lag seems to have...
Stand ready.
oh, hello. The lag seems to have gone away a little bit. Oh, wow. That's a desperation move. Okay, yep, so we... and of course, as always happens to ramp druids, it happens right about when you least need it. There we go. Oh, I don't know about that. Cool. So that's 2 of 3.
Means nothing. The Spider Queen will dispatch you easily.
Sure. Alright, neat. Alright. Let's do the last boss. This is so fun. This is really, really good.
Maexna, he's a giant spider.
Cool. Alright. Oh, I didn't look at the ability. Oh, that's terrible of me. I feel like such a bad player. I haven't played very much Hearthstone in the last little while because I've been finishing up my master's degree and I've been bored with the meta. Maexna.
I must protect the wild.
And so in my not playing very much, I've lost my reflexes. Okay, so none of these are at all useful for an opening hand. Okay, so we got a 3 mana hero power, whatever it is. Okay, that's a better opening hand. Not the best opening hand, but not bad. Okay.
Her poison will make your death mostly painless.
Okay. Let's see here. Hero power. Return a random enemy minion to your opponent's hand. Oh. Well, that's not nice. Although that is exactly... That's just like in the Naxx raid in WoW. Her major ability that you always had to coordinate was she would wrap somebody and throw them against a wall far away. You'd always have your ranged DPS have to knock them down. Sort of like sending somebody back to your hand, I guess. Of course she has web spinners. It's really interesting how they've put together the decks of the bosses. Very, very cool stuff. So I suppose my question is whether we Wild Growth or whether we Wrath. And I think that the answer is going to be to Wild Growth that. Yep, yeah, I think I'm interested in getting the fast start, particularly with the Yeti in the hand. And when I said whether we Wild Growth or whether we Wrath, I actually meant whether we Wild Growth, Wrath, or Hero Power, and I actually probably would have picked Hero Power there over Wrath. Save the card for a better time. I wonder what the theme of her deck will be. It seems a little bit like now, you know, it's not entirely clear. It's a bit tough to say, but I sort of think that spiders might be involved. Not sure, though. But you know, the interesting thing about this is that because of the hero power, it's actually sort of uniquely good against ramp druids, isn't it? Because if I only have one giant thing that I'm innervating out or whatever else, she can just return it quite easily. So if I put out a Yeti right now, it seems like it'd be a good play, but she could actually bring it right back and continue to get a tempo lead for next turn. She still has 2 small creatures on the board. So I wonder if instead I should actually clear her board and put down the Shapeshift and a Wrath. Well, no, I think that's probably the worst idea. Neither of these creatures are scary, and what they might bring with their death rattles probably is scarier. So we're gonna throw down the Yeti. And if she webs it back to my hand, then I suppose we've learned something about this encounter. Yep.
What do you call a player who just had his minion webbed? Doomed.
Well, okay, so that's unfortunate. So the trick against this boss is probably not to play a ramp druid for any reason. It would actually be to play something with a lot of minions. Zoo would do very well here. Zoo would actually eat this for breakfast. I can already see. Well, so that's a good question, isn't it? Do I put the Yeti out again, or do I just assume that that it's just going to go away? We're faced with the same sort of dilemma as last turn, and I'm not interested in Starfalling, so I think we have to do the Yeti again. What's the definition of insanity? I forget. Something like doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same results. Yep. On the one level, at the very least I'm preventing her from doing anything interesting, because she's used up all of her mana. I do wish I had a smaller creature, though, so I could sort of... maybe if I got a Pyro next turn, that'd be good. I could just put them both out. This is going to make the Druid of the Claw quite useful. I can put it out in charge form, get the damage in, and then if she sucks it back, then I can put it out again. Now, it makes me somewhat hesitant to play the Sunwalker, but by the same token, you know, slowly she'll snowball a lead if this is how it's going to go. So, I think what we're going to do is is the Yeti and Hero Power. I think that's probably the best choice. She will probably just suck either one back, and this allows me to get rid of one of her creatures. Random Beast card to the hand is not the best, but I'm not really giving her mana if she's taking her stuff, taking my stuff back.
For the wilds.
Yep. Okay, so this is the game. So every turn that's going to change. Okay, so we have the Dire Wolf. But that's not a spider. Oh, you know what? That was probably the beast that she summoned. Then what the hell is in the rest of her hand? Well, I guess it's all a bunch of cards that are more than 2 mana. She keeps on using her hero power on me. Well, if that's the case, we can make that the fullest effect of that with the Ancient of Lore, can't we? And we can make full effect of that with the Keeper of the Grove, too. Next turn is going to be Yeti and Keeper, I think. This turn, I think, is going to be the Ancient of Lore. And rather than heal, I'm going to draw cards, right? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. I'll get 2, that's going to make it 9. The problem, though, is that if she kicks that back to my hand, I'll have to destroy something. Okay, so that's no good. I'll lose the next card that I draw. So maybe I should heal instead. Yeah, we're going to heal. Basically make this whole thing negate everything until turn, you know, 7, 8, 9, 10, until we can both be dropping a lot of things at once. This is going to make it into a very late control game. Sort of makes you see how Blizzard did not implement a hero power that did exactly this. These games would go on forever. Well, okay, so I have infinite healing now. That's sort of neat. Although the snowballing lead is not going to be a pleasant thing. However, what we can do now is, since we have Starfall, we can kill that and drop one of our creatures back to our hand. That'll give me 3 mana to play with, so that's a little bit unfortunate. I don't really have a good way to spend it. Okay, so you know, yes I do. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this. And we're going to deal 5 damage to the Anub'Rekhan Ambusher. And then what we're going to do is put down Blood Mage Thalnos with the assumption that she's going to drop it back to my hand. Which one's going to go? Cool. Okay, so it's the Dire Wolf. So I could Wrath that, but I'm actually going to put a creature down so that if she kills it, I get a card. Cool. And if she doesn't kill it, and she sucks it back to my hand, which I think is a possibility, then she's 3 mana down. Okay, so she's just going to trade for it. That's reasonable. Captain's Parrot? Oh, she must have had those. Would she have gotten that from the web spinner, maybe? In either case, this is looking real nice for Starfall that I no longer have. Oh. Oh. Well, that couldn't have come at much of a better time. So I think what we're going to look for here is a swipe. How do we want to do this? That's how we're going to do this. So we're going to keep her. We're going to do the 2 damage to this to get its 1/1s out. We're going to swipe the wolf and kill everything on the entire board. That is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay, and we are back to square one. That's really interesting. So I wonder how we can bait her to use the hero power. Oh. Wow, okay, well that pretty much just demonstrated the power of the Shaman hero power. That's really neat. Cool move. Alright, so we have full mana. So now we're in the phase where we want to put down a lot of creatures. So, to just let stuff stick. So I'm curious about getting rid of, say, this thing. Silencing it would be nice, but then again, I'm not sure. It would almost be better just to kill it. It's actually relevant. It keeps 1 damage off the board if I silence it instead of actually killing it. But instead of that, I think I'm actually going to put down the Sunwalker and the Yeti. Yeah, I'm going to put down the Sunwalker and the Yeti.
Truth is my shield.
One of these days I'll draw the Wild Pyro, and life will be good. The thing with her deck appears to be that all of her cards are quite weak, and the Ram Druid's cards are all quite strong. So, you know, a Wild Pyro followed by a Wrath would basically devastate what she has. The likelihood is that she'll return the Sunwalker, but at the very least then I'll have a Yeti, and I'll have a means to do damage. Oh! Well, that's not kind. Oh man. Okay, so this deck is officially the most annoying deck to play against, if nothing else. And where the hell is my second swipe? Or a Wild Pyro, these would all be excellent things. Hey, buddy. Okay. And the neat thing is, if she sucks it back to the hand, then all will be well, because of course I can just use it again with more spells. So perhaps the thing to do here, let me think. If we do Wild Pyro, and then we do Mark of the Wild, that'll kill a lot of stuff. Yeah, we need 3 spells, right? So 2, 2 is 4, that's 7, 8, 9. The unfortunate part about that is that, oh no, that will work, that'll be perfect. So we'll heal myself, and then we'll Mark of the Wild. That'll kill this and these things, and get 4 1/1s on the table. And then I will use Wrath to kill the Nerubian, do 3 damage, and that'll kill everything. Alright.
Do you like to play with fire?
I do like to play with fire. I also like to heal myself. It's one of my pastimes, and I also enjoy using Mark of the Wild with a Wild Pyromancer. It is basically a swipe at this point. Now hopefully she will use the Web Spinner, or the Web Wrap ability, knock that back to the hand, and I have yet more ways of getting rid of her stuff in the future. Maybe not, though. Oh wow. She gonna do it? Oh, she's not. Oh, that's so interesting. Okay. Now we've got something to stick. So how do we deal with this windfall? So Wild Growth would give us a card. The unfortunate part is that I have no method. Oh, I do have a method of healing, don't I? Yes. Okay. I don't have a method of getting mana, though. Because essentially what I can do is I can heal this and kill everything on the board. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's no problem. So we're going to not draw cards. We're going to put down the Ancient of Lore and heal. Restore 5 health to our Wild Pyro. And then we're going to Wild Growth. Like so. Yeah, that's a funny history thing. Wild Growth like so, and then we're going to excess mana like so. It sucks because the Ancient is down to 5/3. Oh, wow. I don't have a means by which to use that effectively, but that's okay. No board. There's some stuff that's sticking. It has 5/2. Or two things with 5 damage, and she may return one of them usefully to my hand. Oh, wow. Okay, so the beasts... Oh, I'm just going to kill one and return one? Oh, she's got the mana. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. So I certainly think that the scales have tipped. Okay, so what can we do usefully? We can silence that with the Keeper. We can then innervate out an Ancient of War. We could also innervate out Rag. And maybe the thing to do would be to Keeper, to silence this, suicide this into it, and then innervate Rag, and have a Keeper and Rag on the board. Yeah, I think that's probably not a bad idea. So let's do that. Let's Keeper.
I must safeguard the land.
Silence this. suicide this. And, yeah, we're gonna innervate out Rag. Perfect. She only has 2 cards to deal with it. Yep, so that's gonna go to Rag. Yep, perfect. Perfect. Okay, this is going well. So, what we can actually do here is 2 4/4 charge minions with the Druid of the Claw and the Faceless Manipulator. One of which can take out the Gargoyle, and the other one's for just aggression, and I think that's actually the plan that we're going to do.
Where shall I strike?
That's a nice, simple sort of a thing. And we'll do this. Can't get rid of all of them. And the lag has happily gone away.
Sea Giant?
Ooh.
My ex-husband is not on my approved card list.
He has an approved card list, everybody. Kel'Thuzad's blacklist. However, it's going to be irrelevant because we just win, right? 6 and 4 is 10 the last time I checked. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Arachnid wing. That's excellent. That was a lot of fun.
This is not over, puny mortal.
Well, no, we still have like a lot of wings and stuff. All right, Nerubian eggs, and I think I get her too, don't I? I'm sure. Once we, yeah. Oh, here it comes. Oh yes, that's
you think
awesome.
That card will help you? You are sorely mistaken.
All right. And the class challenges for the Druid, increasingly my favorite, and the Rogue. And you can also attempt the insanely difficult Heroic Arachnid Quarter. Well, we certainly will be doing that. But for now, we're going to call it a day. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching, for joining me with this. It was a lot of fun. Really think they did a great job with this. Really have enjoyed playing. And I can't wait for the other wings. And can't wait to try out the other challenges. So, thank you so much, guys, for watching. And I will see you guys next time.